Hello everyone, this is the second of 10 video essays I'm doing on retro games. If you want to check out the first episode, there's a link on the screen and in the description box below. I would be inclined to give a spoiler warning, but seeing as A, this game has no plot, and B, you've already played it, I don't see the need. Space Invaders was created by Tomohiro Nishikado and reluctantly published by the Taito Corporation in 1978. It released as a sleeper hit and has to this day sold over 350,000 arcade machines and earned nearly $10 billion in revenue, making it the highest grossing arcade game of all time and the second highest unit seller behind only the original Pac-Man. When it released, it revolutionized the medium through both its unique design and its technological advancements. Before it, there were no multi-layered music tracks or high scores that saved the machine, and outside of its technological influence, it was also the game that influenced Shigeru Miyamoto to become a game designer. So not only did this give us cover shooting, but it also gave us Nintendo as we know it today, and by extension, PlayStation and Xbox. It ushered in the golden age of the arcades and quadrupled the sales of the Atari 2600 home console, so it has more than earned its place in the pantheon of video games. Many games would take Space Invaders' design and iterate on it. Games like Galaga, Asteroids, and Galaxian are just a few examples, but if you've played a game released after 1980, you can guarantee that it was influenced by Space Invaders, knowingly or not. Space Invaders was designed by Tomohiro Nishikado to iterate and improve upon the Atari classic Breakout, which itself was designed to improve and iterate on Pong. Breakout and Pong are an abstract puzzle game and a sport game, respectively, and before Space Invaders released, that was what made up the landscape of video games. Space Invaders was the first game to truly capitalize on conflict, and that no doubt helped it stand out from the crowd. Another boost to its success might have been the amazing timing of the game. Originally, the enemies were supposed to be humans flying airplanes, but they were changed to aliens to capitalize on a recent surge of interest in all things from space, which was caused by another sensation that released around the same time. The enemies are a squid, crab, and an octopus, and they were inspired by the classic novel War of the Worlds, which I think technically makes Space Invaders an unofficial adaptation, but I digress. Many people attribute Space Invaders with creating the difficulty curve. The more enemies you kill, the faster they fly down and the harder the game becomes. This is, funnily enough, an unintended glitch that occurred because the arcade machine couldn't smoothly process the number of enemies in the start of the game, but the more the player killed, the smoother they would render. When the enemies land, the player loses, but if they repel the fleet, then they enter the next level. Space Invaders doesn't have any definable win state, so the high score goes a long way in driving play. The high score is also what makes the game such a social experience, since everyone wants to have the highest score. Games like Pac-Man and Asteroids benefited greatly from utilizing the high score mechanic. This series I'm doing is with the intent on learning, and if there is anything Space Invaders does that I would like to see more of, then it's maximum efficiency. Every visual design is there to capitalize on the engagement with the game. Every audio design is there to capitalize on the engagement with the game. Nothing is filler or flavor text. There aren't any enemies more complexly designed than they need to be, and no advanced volumetric lighting for the sake of it looking cool. If there is something to learn from Space Invaders, it's that good old mantra, keep it simple. Don't get sidetracked when designing. Know how you want the player to feel and design to provide that. Not that plus subsurface scattering because it looks cool. Why make your game look like this when this is better, both financially and engagement-wise? Thanks for watching. This was a short one, but in the next episode I will be diving into the landscape of pre-2000 PCs. If you have suggestions, then be sure to let me know in the comments. If you like this video and want to support the channel, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Hope to see you next time. Until then.